During the 1950s, post-World War II, the US was designating a large cross-country system of controlled access routes, now known as interstates. These plans included infamous freeways such as Interstate 5, Interstate 95, and also smaller interstates such as Interstate 87. Interstate 87 was planned and constructed to travel from New York City, the largest city in the US, to the Canadian border just south of Ottawa, Canada's capital. This highway was in the original plan for the interstate system all the way back in the 50s. However, of course, after you construct the main interstate, all the cities nearby want a direct interstate connection. These connections are known as spur routes. Spur routes typically are constructed and there's a large city that's off the mainline interstate that wants an interstate connection, such as in this case, where they needed to construct Interstate 555 to give Jonesboro an interstate connection, because Interstate 55 missed Jonesboro entirely. Spur routes are also constructed when a city wants an interstate connection to their downtown, such as Roanoke in Virginia. However, not all spur routes are made equal. Some are extremely questionable to say the least, and are only constructed because, well, the money's there. Bring us to Interstate 587, the only interstate with roundabouts. Let's do this. Interstate 587 is a short 1.2-mile route located in the large town of Kingston, New York. For context, Kingston has a population of 2,500, with an urban area barely above 50,000. For context, the city of Walla Walla in Washington and Oregon has an urban area equivalent to it. Alright, enough yapping, let's actually get talking about Interstate 587. First up, the highway starts at a roundabout with New York 28, County Road 31. That's right, it doesn't even connect to Interstate 87. Don't believe me? Here's Interstate 587 and it's signed just before the roundabout. It doesn't even connect. That means that Interstate 587 is an interstate orphan. The interstate has one unsigned exit, and calling it an exit is a bit of a stretch. The 90-degree turn up into a parking lot, and it's right after the highway starts at the roundabout. The highway then goes southeast for about a mile, serving the bypass for Washington Ave and Albany Ave, making a quicker connection to downtown Kingston. The highway ends at another roundabout in the south of Albany Avenue and Broadway, where you then continue down Broadway for about another mile until you hit downtown. So why does the interstate even exist in the first place? Now, like many useless interstates, there tends to be a theme. Sometimes they're supposed to continue further, but got cancelled. Or maybe the city just nowhere near what it used to be. Not this one, however. This was the plan, all 1.2 miles of it. You see, during the 50s, Kingston wanted to build a New York street on this end of town, serving as a bypass for Washington Ave and a quicker way to get to downtown. However, instead of just being normal and building a 4-lane road like everybody else, they decided to apply for federal funding. They built the highway to interstate standards so that they have to pay for much less of it. Okay, that's not the full story, but it's part of it. In the nearby town of Ulster, IBM opened a new plant which employed upwards of 7,000 workers. This provided huge benefits to the towns of Kingston and Ulster. However, with all of these new employees, the roads quickly became swamped with traffic. With 7,000 new workers in Kingston, the metro area grew by 20,000, and with the completion of the New York Thruway, this brought tons of retail to the area, and because of that, the economy boomed. Now, because the Thruway went west of Kingston, they felt like they needed a high-speed corridor to connect I-87 to downtown Kingston. How did they land on this design? I'm not really sure. Neither connects to I-87 or downtown. Great job, guys. The highway was completed in 1960 and named George F. Chandler Drive, aka Colonel Chandler Drive, who is a prominent and important figure in the area. Since then, aside from some reconstruction of the roundabouts at either end, the road stayed pretty much the same, with no plans to change it. And one last fact to end the video, along Interstate 87, Interstate 587 isn't even signed as an interstate. Instead, it's signed as New York 28, making this highway truly an interstate orphan. Alright, so that's basically all there is to know about Interstate 587. Why did I make this video? Well, I don't know, but you ended up watching it. If you have any other interstates or just highways in general you'd like me to cover, please leave in the comments. And if you made it this far, why not consider subscribing? I post content like this almost every single week. And of course, like the video, somewhere to see this, and for now, bye!